Hey everybody, this is Perch. A couple bits of news of some new comics, some changes. First, and it's been a while since we've talked about Substack. There was this initial kind of push of a bunch of creators over there, but then it went quiet. I think we saw the first wave of at least creator deals kind of get landed. So Marvel's Kelly Thomson, who's been doing Captain Marvel and Black Widow right now, has announced that she is debuting a paid tier to her Substack email newsletter, and that her first comic will be Black Cloak with Meredith McLaren, and they worked on Heart in a Box in the past. So she's announcing Black Cloak is the first comic to launch on Substack. It will be a hard-boiled detective story set in a futuristic fantasy world where the technology is magic-based and the world is full of fantasy characters that don't always get along and have motives for murder. And I'm sure there will be some tarot decks in there somewhere. But then, following up with that, in 2022, she's announcing The Cull, which will be co-created and drawn by Matea de Lewis, who was her collaborator on Jessica Jones. And this comic is a sci-fi fantasy adventure following a group of high school friends who venture into a forbidden local rock to make a short film, only to find themselves in another world. And when they return home, everything has changed, and it's been years and not days. I think I've seen that plot point. I don't want to crap on these ideas. I'm good for people off doing their various things, but it strikes me, and I won't go too far down. And this is going to sound like shade, and I don't mean it to. It just there's no way for it not to. You ever notice a lot of these fantasy ideas sound like the same? Like I think it feels like people are drawing from the same well a lot around. It's going to be hard boiled. It's going to be noir. It's going to be futuristic. It's going to have fantasy. It's going to have magic, but the magic will have costs, and there will be, I've seen this before. It's but anyway, I'm hoping for the best. So more power to you. Anyway, so these comics are going to be debuting on Substack as digital creations and then be collected and shipped by Image, which is pretty much the approach that everyone is using, it looks like, at this point. James Tynion, Scotty Young, Ram V, Chip Zdarsky, Jonathan Hickman. I think to note, there may be one, they're all basically doing the digital and then ultimately printed and collected through Image, and that's what everybody is doing. So what we don't know is what kind of deal Kelly Thomson got. I'm sure she got some kind of deal. There's no news that she is leaving Marvel. None of that is anywhere in the plan. So it seems like Kelly Thomson will continue to do Black Widow, continue to do Captain Marvel, and I think also is part of the Spider-Man cabal of writers. So anyway, that's basically what you have there. I think we hit the major writers in comics, and now we're hitting the kind of the next tier of writers, and I expect a handful of others over the next month or so to get announced. So that is what's coming out from there. Now, shifting gears a little bit over to Marvel Unlimited, we had the X-Men series that Jonathan Hickman and Declan Shalvey have been doing for this core X-Men team. It was a short bit of comics, and now the next phase of the X-Men books on Marvel Unlimited has been announced as X-Men Green. So what is X-Men Green? We've had X-Men Gold, Blue, and Red, and now X-Men Green appears to be more environmentally conscious. So the team looks to be comprised of eco-friendly, Nature Girl. Wolverine will be there for some reason. And it's basically going to take a more the preview shows Nature Girl finding a turtle that's come up on the shelf, the coast of Krakoa, kind of wandered onto the beach, and it's got plastic or something in its mouth, and that the turtle has been poisoned by the humans, and so Nature Girl gets angry and basically goes and stabs a human in the neck with scissors, and breaks the Krakoan law, or maybe killed the person, maybe not, and so Wolverine has to go and get her back. And it's the story of Nature Girl. The part of this that I'm sorry, this is going to generate a million videos, but taking it back for a second, Nature Girl basically comes across a turtle. The turtle coughs out a bag. The bag is Owen's Grocery, serving Las Vegas since 1972. Why there's a Las Vegas bag in a turtle washing up on the shores of Krakoa, nobody really knows. But anyway, she proceeds to go and just stab a clerk in the neck. What the hell? Will this comic do anything but treat Nature Girl like a crazy psychopath villain? Because I don't care how bad a corporation is, you can't go showing up and just stabbing people in the neck. Let's say let's say you had a bad Arby's sandwich. You can't go into Arby's and just start stabbing people. Those people just work there. Come on, that's insane. But anyway, this is X-Men Green. It's written by Jerry Duggan and Emilio Lasso, and this is an arc. I would assume 3 issues that are happening there with this comic, and that's just a hell of a thing. I admit I am absolutely fascinated to see if this is going to treat characters as anything other than just absolute lunatics. But we will see, I guess. I can't believe I can't believe we're doing a video on this channel about this, that it's okay to God, what are you even thinking? Shifting gears again, because I'm going to be bothered by this all day. There is we've talked a little bit about DC having rolling delays, and they blamed that the coronavirus and the production line has basically been hit. And there's also been this talk about manga in 2021 has had trouble getting out. And it's true. There has been issues with COVID and with the overall, publishing supply chain to get things out. It's kind of weird if you're at all plugged into the gaming industry and you've seen supply chain issues for consoles and parts. You'll know that this is nothing like this. Yes, there's issues in the supply chain, but it pales in comparison to what we've seen other places. But there are definitely release dates changed. We saw that DC changed some release dates. That one seemed a little weird because they basically moved everything that wasn't Batman back, which felt, I don't know, slightly think they were manipulating this a bit. But they continue to cite it's an unprecedented strain on the global supply chain, and I believe that is true, but the way they're reacting to it does seem to still be kind of odd. Bad Idea Comics are shifting some things. We've heard that some of the schedule slips and delays at Marvel are also related to supply chain issues. So definitely there are problems, and we're expected to continue these problems into February or March of next year as the different pieces just have issues. But in the grand scheme of things, this seems to be a couple weeks problem as opposed to a months or years problem. We have the some titles slip from, say, just weeks. This is why some of DC slips, like Batman No Man's Land Omnibus, slipping from late November to mid-January, or the Absolute Wonder Woman shipping from August to March. One of those things is not like the other. So it just, some of these schedule delays it's hard to pin all of this, and I won't do it on purely supply chain issues. There's definitely some some manipulation going on, or just some selective choosing of what's going to go out and what's not. It's not as simple as that. So anyway, that's what's going on. I'm not going to comment on the revelation today that Green Arrow liked to go to the Justice League headquarters to use the toilet. I'm not sure what anybody is doing there with that. But overall, this is what we got. So Kelly Thomson moving to Substack, a couple comics coming out there. We have supply chain issues continuing to hurt the industry. And we have the announcement of X-Men Green with Nature Girl and Wolverine that apparently features Nature Girl murdering convenience store clerks because of pollution in the ocean, which has to be the most psychotic thing that I've seen in comics this year. But hey, it's just September, so we've still got some ways to go. Anyway, what are you looking forward to out of all that? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, of course, and thanks for listening.